Okay, this is Ray from explorerray.com. Welcome back, and today I'm going to talk about, from my point of view, what is the most versatile lens, zoom lens you can have out there. I'm going to talk about the 70-200. So I hope you enjoy this. Okay, so let's start. This video here is kind of a supplement to the two last videos that I have done. You can watch it on my channel. The last video I done was the 1.4 teleconverter from Sigma, which I used for wildlife shooting handheld with the Sigma 15600, which gives you approximately 850 millimeter teleconverter. And the video before that was what I'm going to bring in my camera bag when I'm going to Bosnia and Herzegovina. The point is that things change, and I started looking at my kit, and one of the things I said in the video when I was going, the video for what I'm packing for Bosnia and Herzegovina, is that I'm going to bring this lens. This is the 70-200 Canon version. This is the one I have. It replaced my old 70-300, which I had before, which was a not an L series lens, but another series lens. But that doesn't matter. And this advice I want to try and give here today has nothing to do with brand. If you have Canon like I have, or if you have Nikon, or if you have Sony, or if you have anything. Here's my point. When you're shooting, like especially if you're shooting street photography, like I'm going to do in Bosnia and Herzegovina primarily, the 70-200 will give you more than enough reach on its own. For most circumstances, it kind of doesn't matter. You have more than enough reach, and it's a very, very nice lens. And this is the body I will be bringing. This is my trusty 5D Mark III from Canon, which I'll be using, but I don't want to talk about that one because that's just an aid. But this is the lens. The thing is that, okay, why do I say this is versatile? Of course, okay. I mean that you can use it primarily on almost, if you're not too far away or too close, it is a very ideal focal length. 70 millimeters is perfect for portraiture. 200 millimeters is perfect for something that is across the street. I have told you about this before. It kind of looks professional, so it had given me access to places I probably wouldn't have been allowed to shoot before. But that has something to do with the lens. But the point is that this is a 70-200, and that is a brilliant, brilliant lens. But okay, so why do I try to proclaim this the master of all zoom lenses? And that is because with very little extra money, you can make it extremely more versatile. If you pick up the thread from the last time, this is just the sunshade, and just a word of caution, there are plentiful of different 70-200 lenses out there. This is the far biggest one, at least for Canon. It weighs a ton. You can have the this is the IS version, the image stabilized version. You can have the non-IS version, which actually allows you to have a much lighter, much easier to bring along lens. And of course you have cheaper, more introduction level EFS or something like that lenses, EF lenses, which are cheaper than this, and you can say have less build quality. But here's my point. If I need more reach, here is the answer. This is a teleconverter. This is the 2x teleconverter which I use. it kind of doesn't matter all that much if it's a 1.4 or 2.0, but the point is that on this lens, which is a fixed aperture 2.8 lens, this gives you 2 extra stops, so it makes it a fixed aperture 5.6 lens. In that combination, you have a fixed aperture of 5.6, 140 to 400 millimeter telelens. And at least if you are like, even for wildlife shooting, in most circumstances, if you aren't too far away, you won't be needing over 400 millimeters. But that is just a nice thing, and at least for street photography, if you are in most circumstances for street photography, if you have the extender with you and you see that, okay, I would love to frame that shot at, let's say, 400 millimeters, and you have a bright and sunny day, no problem. And you can see it doesn't build all that much. That is the actual extension of it. It doesn't look all that bad. Yeah. So that is the telephoto length of it. You can make it go with autofocus, with everything, a fairly fast lens at 5.6. A fairly fast lens at 5.6. You can actually have it at 400 millimeters, no problem whatsoever. So that is the far end. So why do I call this versatile? Because it also can double as a macro. This might actually sound a little bit more strange, but the point is that I have done a lot of, maybe my more artistically photos I've ever shot, I've shot with this lens because it's very versatile. But I've shot it like at 70 millimeters or something like that. For instance, the flowers, it gives you a fantastic bokeh. The colors are crisp, everything is really, really nice. But sometimes I wish I could get even closer. And this is extension tubes. I have 3 extension tubes. This is an, if I'm not mistaken, this is a 25 millimeter extension tube. Here. And here I have a, I think 12 millimeter, and here you have another 12 millimeter. Yeah. Extension tube. And for those of you who don't know the point of the extension tube, that is a mechanical, it has a little bit of, it's no glass, absolutely no glass at all, but the point of the extension tube is just to add a little bit of air between the camera and the lens before it starts focusing. The point of that is that when you add air between the sensor and the focusing plane of the lens, it will bring it closer. You manage it to make it focus closer. So if you just want to do some small time macro shots, you don't want to bring your macro kit, your macro lens, and you know you're going to be outside or something like that, bring a couple of extension tubes. And if you're uncertain, if you're going to be in circumstances where you need a little bit more reach than the 7200 gives you natively, add a teleconverter. It's much cheaper and much more flexible than bringing a specialized telelens or a specialized macro lens if you're uncertain that you need it. So that was just a little moment of revelation for me when I was packing up my gear for going home for Easter holiday yesterday. So I hope people disagree with me. I hope that people would like to say what they actually mean in the comments below. But in my opinion, the 70-200 in itself is an extremely versatile lens. it doesn't matter what brand you have, it doesn't matter kind of what you have, of course. Since this is a 2.8 lens and the extension tubes and the teleconverters actually removes quite a lot of light, a couple of stops of light, it's nice that it's a fast lens in itself. That's nice. That gives you some extra flexibility. But my point being here is that you have a flexible lens. You have a focal length which most people can relate to and can use very, very nice from everything from portraiture to action to everything. But if you need a little bit more reach, you can add it quite easily and quite flexible without bringing an extra lens with the teleconverter. And if you need to get even closer, remember what Robert Capa said, if your picture aren't good enough, you aren't close enough. So if you want to be even closer, you can use extension tubes. So that was just a little tip from me. So take care and have an excellent day. This is Ray saying goodbye.